I'm joined by Houston Rockets shooting guard Eric Gordon. Eric, thank you so much for doing this interview. How are you doing today?
Oh, everything's good, man. It's good to talk to you and get to know more about you.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about your days at Indiana. First off, I saw on your Twitter bio you have Indiana Hoosier in all caps. Obviously, besides playing for Indiana, being born in Indy, what's the story behind your passion and the love behind your university?
Well, I was born and raised in Indiana, so Indiana means a lot to me. And went to college there. I always wanted to play for the Hoosiers, and I got the opportunity to do that. And those are some of my, best and fond, some of my most and fond memories. Is back in Indiana. Everybody knows that that's a real, true basketball state, and I loved growing up there. There was a lot of good competition growing up there.
Man, that's really awesome. And so I wanted to talk about your shooting. You're obviously a great shooter, but there's a saying that shooters shoot. And I've heard that shooters, they just want to keep going, even though they've missed like their previous shots from that distance. But being a fan, I always felt that if a shot isn't going from three, like you've tried it over and over, would it be easier for you guys to kind of drive and attack the rim and then draw a foul, shoot a free throw or layup, see that ball go through the basket? Do you think it would be easier to go back and then start shooting a three after that? Or would you guys just keep attacking from three?
Well, you got to always bring more than one thing to the table. And, for me, you can't really label me as a shooter because I can create my own shot. I can get to the basket or I can get to the free throw line. And in this game of basketball where they like to label people, to me, the one thing you last longer in this league is to do more than one thing, be great at more than one thing. And to me, if I don't have it really going offensively, shooting wise, then that's when you got to look for others, create an opportunity for them or get to the free throw line. And with me, I really get more hungry on defense. And because I don't like when someone scores on me, I really get mad. Mm-hmm. And that's only if my offensive game shooting is not there.
Yeah. So going back to your defense, I think you're a really great defender. And you have kind of like a mental mindset or an approach, going to some of the great offensive players of this game. Like if you're guarding a guy like Steph Curry, what's kind of like the mindset or approach when you're guarding somebody like him?
Well, with me, I'm more physical than most defenders, and a guy like Steph Curry, you have to stay on him. You have to be physical, and you just can't, against a guy like him. You have to go at him when you're on offense and when he's on defense. You got to go at him to try to tire him out because great players are going to score in this league, but you got to make him play both sides of the ball hard. And I like to try to be as physical as I can with him and make sure he doesn't get like easy shots, or because I believe I don't want guards to drive against me. I would rather see them try to score 20 and 30 points, making all jump shots. That's just my tendency. And that's why I like to be physical so they won't be able to really make drives on me.
Yeah. So are there times, when you shoot a basketball, do you know it's going in as soon as you shoot it?
Majority. If I feel good and if that ball's floating in the air and I just feel good by the release, I should be able to know if I'm making that shot or not.
Yeah. So going back to your shot, do you kind of like during the off season or practice, do you kind of modify your shot, kind of change it up to help you physically or kind of shoot it better? Or have you kept the same shot for the majority of your career?
I pretty much shot the same way since I was 9. And, my dad told me, hey, this is the form of how you're going to shoot and just stick with it. And I think it's worked out for me.
Yeah, that's really good. And do you keep practicing your range? Do you try to maybe shoot it from farther away or do you just consistently target like one?
Yeah, the reason why sometimes I shoot far away is so the shot won't be so contested, because if you're on that 3-point line and guys are helping off a little bit, I would rather them take a couple more steps before they can get to me so I can have a good clean shot. I'm trying to make as many uncontested shots than contested.
So, basketball being like a really fast-paced game, do you ever, like if you miss a shot, for example, do you ever think about it like, oh, I should have made that shot? Or do you just immediately transition back to defense? Is it like on your mind at some point?
It can be sometimes, but to me, you always got to look forward to the next one. It's all about having that confidence to go into your next shot and just being ready. And because when you miss a shot, it's all about worrying about making the next one.
Yeah. And are there kind of like set plays by Coach Silas that, as soon as you get the ball, somebody's going to shoot, or do you like design something to where you help another person kind of get open looks?
Yeah, in this league, it's a read and reactive type game. And you might come off a pick and roll. Yeah, we're gonna run a play for somebody, but sometimes that might not work.
Yeah.
And when you come off a pick and roll, you got options. And it's all about utilizing your options and trying to make the right play for someone who's open.
Right. And so when you're going through kind of like a rough stretch while playing, how do you kind of motivate yourself to kind of get back into that zone?
Just if you don't have it going offensively, then you have to be even more motivated defensively, because you can't compound mistakes. You can't let the other team score, and when you're not really scoring. So that's what this game's about. You have to bring something to the table on both sides of the floor, and guys just really need to just play to their strengths and know their strengths, and also work hard on the things that they're really not as good at.
Mm. And you kind of like try and mentor some of the younger guards on this team, like Jalen Green and KPJ, give them any advice?
Yeah, with them is their games are different, and they're learning their role. Of course, both of those guys are talented, but it's a the to be in this primary position, it's just going to take time for them to continue getting better. But those guys are going to be good, and they definitely have the unique talent and abilities to keep going forward. And it's just all about them learning each game, being hard on themselves, and continue to grow. And everybody goes through it, and I always hope for the best each game for them to stay engaged and do well.
Yeah. And going back to Wednesday's game, you guys just came out of that losing streak. That was just an amazing game that you guys really played. Um, do you step up as a leader in that locker room while going through that kind of rough stretch there?
Oh, for sure. I like to I try to say things and bring things to the table, each game, because I'm a type of person I like to lead by example. Like, I like to, harp on people on defense. I like to, I'm more a lead by example type person instead of talking a lot. I do, but I don't like talking a lot as far as, yelling at people, or I like to say things one-on-one towards them. And I think that gets across a little bit better like that.
Yeah, that seems to be really effective. And you won the NBA three-point contest in 2017. So what would you say is kind of like the really key to shooting a three ball successfully?
It's just sticking to your form. That's the key. When you're a good shooter and you have a good form and technique, and when's a good shot for you, it's just all about being ready to take it. And I will tell every young kid, form is everything. I don't care whoever you play against, whether they're tall, you got to figure out ways, but your form and technique is the key to everything.
Yeah. And you also won the sixth man of the year in the season of 2016-17. What would you say is kind of like the most important aspect of being a sixth man to really help the team get wins?
Is to come in the game and be ready, because you're going in a game where you've been sitting out, and now it's all about figuring out how you can get into your rhythm to benefit the team and try to get the team going. And whenever I was in the game, I didn't want no lead off for the starters to. I didn't depend on the starters to keep the lead. I wanted, as soon as I came in the game, I want to keep leads and sustain a good level of high level playing.
Right. And you've also played a couple of different positions. You played the point when KPJ was out. So how is it kind of like playing these different kind of positions? And do you think it really benefits players overall to try and play kind of different positions?
Yeah, I do think it's good to play different positions for some people, and for me, it makes me a little bit more unpredictable, and it's all about making plays for someone else and for yourself too. When you get that mix, you become a little bit unpredictable throughout the game.
Right. So anyway, Eric, that was like my last question. So thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I really appreciate it. But I had a request. Do you think you can follow me on Twitter?
Oh, that's no doubt, man. I'll do that right away. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
appreciate that.
I got you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eric. Really appreciate you hopping on here, spending some time with me. I really
No
appreciate
doubt, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eric. You have a good rest of the day and have a good game on
All right,
Saturday.
man. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.